Hello, beautiful people. My name is Athol, and this is Relationship Momentum. So today I'm following along with a series of thoughts that I had immediately after shooting yesterday's video. Yesterday I did a video about the difference between wedding vows and the true agreements that people make when they decide to get married. Like, what's the bedrock, fundamental principle thing that they're deeply committed to and they want when they get married. And I'll leave a link below for that video. And bear in mind, I've had this thought about true agreements for marriage for years. And the thought that hit me afterwards was, what are people's true agreements with themselves? Like, what is your true agreement with your sense of identity, of what you are, what you do, what your life is meant to be? Like, what did you think for yourself that your life is going to be, should be? And are you meeting that agreement, or are you somehow just straight up disappointing yourself? Are you just crapping on yourself because you're not doing the things that you thought you were going to do, or you're not the person you thought you were going to be? Are you breaking that true agreement with yourself? And I thought that was a really good idea, a good thought. And then I went grocery shopping with Jen, and as we were going to the grocery store, I had the realization that sometimes the deep problem is people make a true agreement with the marriage. Like, they commit to the marriage. They buy into the marriage with some sort of agreement. But that true agreement is not congruent with their own true agreement about themselves. And this is what, or put another way, people settle. They settle for this marriage. They settle for this relationship with this person because it meets some need that they have, or it's going to get them something they want, but it breaks the agreement with themselves. So this is why you have the situation where people can be committed to marriage. They can say it's good, but then there's something dead or slowly dying in themselves as they slowly get progressively more depressed and disconnected from who they truly think they are and what they want to do with their life. And that to me was an epiphany, because now I can see in so many situations that, someone has bought into a marriage and they've broken their own agreement with themselves. And this is the missing piece of the puzzle for a few situations that I can think of. And I guess a sort of a follow-up question is like, why do people do this? Why do people break an agreement with themselves to get buy into something that is never really going to make them as happy as they could be otherwise? And I think sometimes people do this for good intentions. They buy into a marriage because it's the right thing to do, because this is, they've reached a certain age, because they're meant to have a family, they're meant to want to have children, that this is someone appropriate to their faith. There are plenty of reasons where marrying is the right thing to do, and you can commit to it. Or alternatively, this person they're with is the right person that they should marry. Like, they tick off a whole bunch of boxes that everybody else thinks is a really good idea to marry. So just go ahead and do it, and all the positive feelings will eventually come. But then if it's breaking their own true agreement, even if that person is great, it's not necessarily going to make them happy being with them. And in fact, it can become, over the long term, and their own personal private hell of never quite having what they want, yet from the outside it all looks good, and objectively this is meant to be a perfect match. So yeah, it's a really interesting set of thoughts. What is and it all comes down to, what is your own true agreement with yourself? Because if you're not going to meet and pass that, if you're not going to meet your own requirements for being a good person or a successful person, or whatever it is that you actually truly value on a deep level, and bear in mind, there can be no rational thought or necessary explanation of why this is your true agreement with yourself. But if you can't meet that, if you can't pass that, if you are not going to value your own self for what you could be doing or should be doing, you're never going to be happy in a relationship, and you'll slowly but surely make the other person unhappy as well, because you're never going to get your own true agreement met, and there's nothing that somebody else can do to meet that for you. And I know in saying that there's a risk where people automatically default into some sort of just selfish mode of, oh, I'll just do whatever the hell I want and my partner won't matter, and I'm just going to bail. And I'm going to run off with some, to follow some flight of fantasy of something that's never going to happen. And I think there's a risk to this line of thinking that people do that. I think you have to be really clear to yourself that your own true agreement, the thing that you are going to commit to, that's going to be what you base your life on and around and who you can be, that it is achievable, that it's realistic, that it will match your personality, it will match your skill set, that it is something that is going to provide benefit to other people, that it's going to make you a better person, as opposed to it's just an all-purpose excuse to follow whatever narcissistic dream that you have. And I know it's sometimes hard to tell the difference between the two if you're right in the middle of it. But yeah, that's my thought for the day. What is your own true agreement with yourself? Who are you? Who are you? And what do you want to be? And what drives you? And what makes you happy? And, is it achievable? Can you commit to it? Can you find a way to live in the world where you are living a good, happy life and benefiting those around you? And I think if you have that, your relationship with your partner becomes a whole lot easier. And certainly a whole lot more content and stable, because you're not trying to wring something out of them to satisfy this gaping need in you that you're not meeting. So anyway, that was my thought for the day. I'm sure this is a much bigger topic than just this short video. I'm going to think about it a whole lot more. So anyway, hope you liked the video. Please like, share, comment, subscribe, all that good internet stuff. And I will talk to you tomorrow.